So as you can see, we're going to be looking in this video at what affects optimum weight. So there are four things that affect optimum weight: your height, so how tall you are, your bone structure, your gender, and your muscle girth. So we'll go into these now. So there you go, there's some examples of some very strong people. Height: a taller person is generally heavier than a short person because there's more of them essentially. So a lot taller, the bones are going to be longer and bigger, and everything's going to be generally a bit bigger and longer. So there will be more weight. Bone structure, so someone with heavier bones would normally be heavier in weight than someone who has less heavy bones or a less heavier bone structure. Muscle girth, someone with bigger muscles is going to weigh more than someone with less muscle. So if you've got more muscle, you're going to weigh more. Gender, for men and women of the same height, a man would generally have a higher optimum weight and weigh more because they have a heavier bone structure and bigger muscle girth. So there's something to clarify when we look at weight. There's being overweight and then there's being over fat. So a person who is significantly heavier than their optimum weight is classed as overweight. Being overweight is not necessarily harmful, as it's possible that extra weight might be in the form of muscle. However, if the extra weight is in the form of fat, so that extra weight above their optimum weight is fat, then they will be classed as over fat because they have more fat than they need. They have an abnormally large percentage of their body being composed of fat. So men are over fat if more than 19% of their body is fat, and women are classed as over fat if more than 25% of their body is fat. Being over fat, it can affect your health, increase your risk of heart disease and other illnesses. So BMI, body mass index. A way of estimating your body fat is to calculate an individual's body mass index, also known as BMI, and this is worked out, calculated by dividing someone's weight in kilograms by their height in meters squared. So there you can see the equation. So if we try and do mine, I think I weigh about 87 kilograms divided by I weigh 180 centimeters, so 1.8 meters squared. Oh, sorry, I just paused it and restarted it. So my weight, what did we say, 86, 87 kilograms, and my height is 180 centimeters, about 5'11". So we're going to do that calculation. I'm going to show you a site that I can use, and I've already done it. So I'm 24 years old, I'm male, 180 centimeters, 87 kilograms, and I calculated it, and the result says, look, I've got a BMI of 26.9 kilogram meter squared, and I am overweight, it says. Now, remember what we said, being overweight, it might be that you have more muscle. So if we go back, we can see being overweight is not necessarily harmful, as it could be extra weight in the form of muscle. And I do lots of sport and I go to the gym, so my extra weight will be muscle. So you don't take what your BMI is as gospel. Look, so I'm just over what healthy is. I was 26.9, so if I was down a little bit to 25, I'd be considered healthy. Over 30 though is obese. So when we talk about obesity, that's having a BMI of over 30. So as you can see, normals 18.5 to 24.9, so to 25. Overweight 25 to 29.9, that's the category I'm in because I was 26.9. Obese 30 to 35. Severely obese is 35 to 40, and morbidly obese, so very, very obese, is anything over 40 in a BMI. So we skip through that. So how does weight affect performance? Being overweight for your activity due to overeating and having an abnormal amount of body percentage being fat can harm your performance. The heavier your body is, the harder it is to move. So someone who's overweight in sport or exercise may struggle with reduced stamina, as they have more weight to carry, they might not be able to carry on for as long. Reduced flexibility, reduced agility. They may also suffer from more general other health problems associated with being overweight, which could affect their performance. Obese individuals can find it difficult to participate in sport or physical activity whatsoever. So they may struggle to even run, they might even struggle to walk, let alone, do a 5k or play a football match. In some sports, performers may come under so much pressure to lose weight that they become underweight. So they're under their optimum weight. Pressure to weigh less can lead to undereating and extreme cases anorexia, which is where someone is so worried about being fat that they starve themselves. Performers who undereat often lack energy and concentration. Their strength and stamina may decline. So in things like boxing or horse racing, in which competitors need to be a certain weight or want to be lighter, they may use sweatsuits, saunas, and even drugs like diuretics to lose weight quickly. These methods can lead to severe dehydration and worsen your performance. So there's a MMA boxer that I've seen before, a video of them online, and they're 2 days away from a fight, but they're like half a kilogram overweight, and they go into a bathroom and they turn all the heaters on in the bathroom, and they wrap themselves in about 5 or 6 towels, and they lie there and try and sweat out as much liquid, as much water weight from their body in their sweat as possible to try and lose weight. Then they go and do a workout wearing hoodies, joggers, in a really hot room. It can be really dangerous. It could lead to dehydration, you might faint. And then the next day he's expected to go out and have an MMA fight, which is obviously very intense. So that's an example of someone trying to become underweight.